to ELVIS by Amber Street, copyright 2022. Odds. Mike smiled at Ronald. They had been neighbors since Mike bought and moved into his house 4 years earlier. He and Ronald had never really had more than small conversations when Mike would go out front to check his mail and Ronald was watering his rose bushes. Ronald was a widower who mostly hung out in his dark blue corduroy bathrobe and dark blue flip-flop terry cloth bedroom slippers. Unless he was watering, then he wore jeans and a polo shirt. Toby had belonged to his wife, Claire. Ronald thought back to the time when Claire had passed away. The first few months were the hardest for Ronald after she passed on. He would sit at the kitchen table in his bathrobe in the morning and eat a bowl of cereal while Toby sat next to the table and watched him. Ronald closed his eyes and thought about the day that he let Toby into his heart. Toby was 5 years old at the time. "What are you looking at?" Ronald asked as he held a spoon midair and looked at Toby. Toby gave out a little meow that sounded like a chirp. Ronald's eyes filled with tears. "You miss her, don't you?" he asked. Toby went over to Ronald and rubbed the side of his head against Ronald's ankle several times and purred. Ronald reached down and pet him. That was the moment that Ronald let Toby into his heart. Ronald looked at Mike and smiled. He knew that Toby would work his way into Mike's heart, and soon. "I go to the rehab place tomorrow morning," Ronald said. It was hard for him. He wanted to be home to sit in his easy chair in the den and watch TV, and to water his rose bushes. "Would you mind watering my rose bushes?" Ronald asked. Mike's heart hurt for Ronald. He didn't know what it felt like to be in an older body, but as a writer he was good at imagining things. And when he was in high school, he had injured his knee while playing basketball. He knew that it wasn't much fun to not be able to live life the way that one wanted. "Sure thing, would you like me to check your mail? I can bring it to the rehab place for you to look through," Mike said as he looked at Ronald's expression. Ronald's eyes filled with tears. He nodded and said thank you. "I would appreciate that, and I would appreciate the company as well." Mike smiled and leaned forward and whispered, "I bet that they will let me sneak Toby in to see you." Ronald's eyes lit up. He smiled. "You really think that they would?" he asked. Mike nodded and smiled. "I heard that they have therapy cats at the place that you are going to. 10 to 1 they will welcome a visit from Toby." Ronald grinned and laid his head back against the pillow a little more. He looked at Mike and said, "His cat carrier is in the back spare bedroom, the room with the sewing machine." Ronald thought about the way that Claire would sit at that sewing machine for hours, working on dresses, curtains, pillows, and other little projects. "Do you think that Toby will be okay with moving to my house for the month? I don't mind going over to your house, and I will daily, to check on things, but I think he will feel a little less lonely at my place since I work at home." Ronald gave Mike the best smile that he could as he fought back wanting to be home. Toby is a pretty easygoing cat, and I'm sure that he will be fine. And if he misses the house, he can always go in and out through the cat door. Thank you for listening. I hope that you'll check out the series on Amazon Dwella. The first 3 episodes are always free. Have a wonderful day.